I want to go back to something we were talking about a little bit before jumping on the podcast. You said, 30 plus years experience. You like to kind of share what you know now with the rookie agents. One of the biggest questions we get when we introduce, new clients to Reminder Media, the newer agents are always, who do I send to? How do I start my list? Like, I don't have a list. I don't have anyone to send to. Yeah. And this isn't just specific to the magazine, but what are some tips that you're giving to new agents entering the industry to start building that sphere and start building that database?
So when I first got in the business, obviously everybody wants to be the $1 million listing guy, right? Yep. All the big houses. I went the opposite direction. So I took the neighborhood that was probably I'm not going to say least desirable, but not as expensive or affluent in town. And I focused on maybe 10 streets, because I needed to make sure that I could afford to touch these people every week. If I had 2,000 people on my mailing list and I could only send out a mailing every other month, that's useless. I'd rather take 20 or 30 houses to start, hit them every week, sell some houses, expand it. And that's kind of how I grew my business. And then all those young first-time home buyers, because I was really in a true first-time home buyer market range, they all moved up, So all those $400,000 buyers became $1 million buyers and $2 million buyers. So it's taken 30 years for me to get here. That's the other thing. I mean, I think the biggest advice to give anybody is it doesn't happen overnight. It looks really easy. And if you can turn on Bravo and everything sells, everything, miraculously, it's all good. It's not that easy.
I love that mentality of not sacrificing the consistency for volume.
Yes.
100%. If you can't afford to touch your farm at least every other week, if not every week, then your farm is either you're doing something wrong. So I got lucky because I became such a big listing agent. So my farm gets all my just listed and just sold cards, even if that house isn't in their neighborhood. So they're getting, pretty much every week I'm either listing a house or selling a house. So I know they're getting touched. That's one touch regardless.
Yep.
Then they get the magazine, then so that's to me, not to overuse this word, but that consistency really becomes crucial, because then, like you said earlier, when they're like, who am I going to call to list my house? Well, I better be in one, they usually call 3 people and I want to be one of the 3, at least 50, 60, 70% of the time.